Nothing makes sense anymore. That's not a personal failure or mass confusion. It's the human psychological signal of shrinking surplus. This lesson explains why. Something more subtle happens first. The pressure rises before failure. In the previous lessons, we saw that surplus allows specialization and supports building complex systems. Now we look at what happens when surplus stops growing or begins to shrink. Welcome to InvestStorms. Societies do not suddenly collapse the moment surplus tightens. Life starts to feel heavier. 1. More effort goes into maintenance. When surplus shrinks, more energy, labor, and materials are required just to keep systems running. Infrastructure still needs repairs. Hospitals still need staff and supplies. Schools still need buildings and teachers. Energy systems still need constant upkeep. But now, a larger share of society's effort goes into maintenance instead of improvement. Less is left for upgrades, expansion, innovation, public investment. People feel like they are working just as hard or harder, but progress slows. Section takeaway. When surplus shrinks, more effort goes into maintaining systems and less into improving them. Life starts to feel like running in place. 2. Costs rise without obvious shortages. Shrinking surplus does not always mean empty shelves or blackouts. More often, it shows up as rising costs across many areas at the same time. This happens because more effort is required to extract energy, obtain materials, and maintain systems. That extra effort must be paid for, either through higher prices, higher taxes, more debt, or lower service quality. So people see higher housing costs, more expensive healthcare, rising insurance, increasing infrastructure costs, more taxes, or more debt to support public systems. The system still works, but it costs more to keep it working. Section takeaway. A shrinking surplus often appears as rising costs rather than immediate collapse. Systems continue to function, but at a higher and more stressful price. 3. Stress builds in invisible places. When surplus was growing, systems had buffers, extra capacity, safety margins, redundancies. As surplus tightens, those buffers quietly disappear. Organizations reduce staff, maintenance gets delayed, supply chains run lean. Public services stretch resources thinner. Everything still operates until something unexpected happens. Then small disruptions create large effects. The system looks stable on the surface, but the hidden support that made it resilient has weakened. Section takeaway. Shrinking surplus removes safety margins. Systems appear stable, but become more vulnerable beneath the surface. 4. People feel pressure before data shows it. During this phase, official data can still look fine. GDP may rise, employment numbers may appear strong, markets may seem stable, but daily life feels different because surplus is experienced locally, not in averages. As we will discuss in detail in the coming videos, more income goes toward essentials. Long-term goals feel harder to reach. Public services feel stretched. Stress rises even in normal times. This is often how shrinking surplus is experienced by people. The system has not collapsed, but the room for ease and error has narrowed. Section takeaway. People often feel the effects of shrinking surplus before official indicators reflect it. Daily life tightens even when headline numbers look stable. 5. The system shifts from expansion to constraint. When surplus was expanding, the system could grow outward. More services, more infrastructure, more opportunity. When surplus shrinks, the system turns inward. More effort goes toward preserving what exists, managing trade-offs, stabilizing fragile systems. This is not dramatic collapse. It is a change in direction, from expansion to maintenance to constraint. Understanding this shift explains why modern life can feel more expensive, more fragile, and more stressful without a visible crisis. Section takeaway. When surplus shrinks, societies move from expansion to maintenance and then to constraint. This explains rising pressure without dramatic breakdown. So here is the question to hold. If systems feel heavier, costlier, and more fragile, why do they still appear stable? That is what we explore next. Investorms is where we see the naked system beneath the noise. Remember that this PhD-level framework comes from Investorms. Join us to level up your game in life. You access the full course materials for free by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in our bio.